highlight right there. Let us to the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment. Man.
He pretty much, even with that, it showed that what the works is. He telling you the commandments is the works. You got to get busy.
Yeah. And he said, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil, we got to get judged according to our works out here, y'all. I'll praise the Most High.
That pretty much do away with being able to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Giving all praise to the Most High. That's all we doing. Big homie back and they calling me Yerb. Pull up and take them to church. Who say they got faith with no word? Spin on the block with the word. Doctrine gon' fall on the earth. We are not equal to most, I come first. Nation ain't number some dirt. Give me a sword for the purr. Big homie, your man not even concerned, but we gon' call him unlearned. Sodom Gomorrah return. Folks out here waiting to burn. The burn. Can't pay that out like a perm. Can't take the truth cause it hurt. Call that a blessing and curse. Watch for the warning alert. Fire and brimstone, some worm. Man, there's so much we can learn. Accustomed to live by the word. Turned up, I'm lit. Got ran with me. Renaissance. All of my oxen and spirit, PC and Hebrew business, you wanna conceal it. Ain't got no time to be chillin'. The world full of abduction, corruption, and killing. Most I put me on a mission. Good faith for the official, whoever shot here. May it lead thee to repentance. Israelite, no, we ain't kidding. This for the meek, not weak. Can't be timid and all in your feelings. A body so play your position. The Lord gon' interpret my vision. He told us be perfect precision. Examining every decision. Big homie back and they calling me Yerb. Pull up and take them to church. Who say they got faith with no word? Spin on the block with the word. Doctrine gon' fall on the earth. We are not equal to most, like I'm first. Nation ain't number some dirt. Give me a sword for the purr.
Proverbs 4:7 reads, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. This low tapping in, ran, Hebrew business, you know what time it is.
They cooked it up, Kali.
Yeah, that sound good, yo.
We ain't taking no days
What's up, big
off.
guy? Inspiration for the trenches.
Ooh.
What we doing? Know the time is almost up, gotta keep watch, can't take no days off. Even on the Sabbath, we putting that work in. Know we out here on the block, gotta feed my flock, trying to find a way out.
No, I'ma do what I gotta do about mine. Let's go get it for real.
You know where my treasure store, tell them we ain't going. You know I can't take no payout.
Boy, you fugazi, I don't care how much money you got.
Do my prophets no harm, touch not my anointing. You know the Most High don't play by.
What we doing?
That inspiration, they slipped on it. I made a call to my big homie, trying to get the truth to Key, Lil Pooh Key, and Big Tony. Thick to the gut like macaroni. Take everything the king got for me. Keep oil all up on my hands. Been in the field, gotta till the land. No days off, I'm a real man. I play chess 3 moves ahead. Apply my life to a weather rail. We in the streets like a postman. The motto is go get it, dude. Send some man to the trenches too. On with my brothers, don't need a crew. Well done, how I like my food. Full throttle, can't stop a mission. This for the kingdom, no competition. My vision good, I wipe my lenses. Tore a pill, it ease the tension. On tour with must go get it. In the trench, we must go fishing. Break the net like Yahusha did it. Trench bruise.
Know the time is almost up, gotta keep watch, can't take no days off.
I'm on my job, man. I'm trying to make sure I'm ready.
Know we out here on the block, gotta feed my flock, trying to find a way out.
Boy, you know where I come from, but ain't nothing changed. We just switched up the game.
You know where my treasure store, tell them we ain't going. You know I can't take no payout.
I ain't never sold my soul.
Do my prophets no harm, touch not my anointing. You know the most high don't play by.
Got morals over here, always had flavor.
Tag this, come in with tag this. Tag this, know they be at it. Proving the spirits, look, let them have it. This addition by subtraction. The our flimsy here elastic. But we kicking, they can grasp it. Gas, smelling through the plastic. We scoring like Curry, no everlasting. You know we endure, we won't ever last. They thought they could hang, we know they will last. I hopped in that game, most high shot me past. I still at my side, mistaking my past. Much greater than I, then look how they had. I can't do the will of the Father, I'm just an admin. All praise to Most High. Separated from those guys. I saw the hate in your eyes. Was too quick to switch sides. You know your brothers and sisters will try. Thankful I've been refined. And I pray for the day I can recline. And we ain't looking back, keep my hand to the plow. I pray I'm worth it. So the time is almost up. Gotta keep watch, can't take no days off.
No. Serious about this shit. Big 12 guys.
Still we out here on the block. Gotta feed my flock, trying to find a way out.
Must go get a trench bruise in the building.
You know where my treasure store, tell them we ain't going. You know I can't take no payout.
Nah, this for the trench.
Do my prophets no harm, touch not my anointing. You know the most high don't play by.
Yeah, with a real,
Hey, this your 104, man. And here with DJ Tad.
Yeah. For sure. Shalom. Welcome you to the Truth Be Told Flex podcast. I am Shia Yeshua Judah. We got Ayobin, Yahoo, but not Shell Ahaya as well. We'd like to welcome everybody back for another great show. Looked like it filled up pretty good. At this particular time, I can't see everybody that is up in there. The ones that I know is in there. Shaka Boom, the Elect 12. I think I saw Sister Delta in the house. May. I seen May. Mahala. Did I say it right out? Mahala. Did I say it right? Yeah, Mahala is in the house. Look. Multiverse Gaming. Look, Truth Be Told Flex podcast would not be anything without you guys. We love you here, and we thank you for spending time with us on a Wednesday night, middle of the week. Y'all could be doing anything, but y'all are faithful and y'all stop by. So I want to say thank you. Yeah. All right, how you doing?
Man, I am doing wonderful. I am doing great. I just realized, y'all, we got 299 subscribers. We need one more to get 300 on the way to 500.
On the way to 5.
Come
slow
on,
and steady wins the race.
Come on, slow and steady wins the race. But I feel good. Glad to be here.
When you said that, he said, I feel good. Say one more thing.
I feel good. You got to do your hand like you're pulling down. So I don't know what I'm pulling down, but I feel good.
You sound like Eddie Murphy on Coming to America. I just feel
that boy good.
Already, man. The Most High is good. Let me tell you that. I don't know who all called Solemn Prophet last Sunday, but when I tell you that was an awesome sit down, it was awesome. Solid Prophet, he had an answer for all the questions. And not only did he have an answer for him, every answer that he had, it made all the sense in the world. So, you know, us as listeners, participants, spectators on the side that is spectating, all we doing now is just sitting back and seeing how this thing is gonna form. But I tell you what, Solid Prophet got a game plan, man, and he does. Ain't nobody else in the nation is doing it like him right now.
Yeah, he's got a strategy and a game plan, and we much worship. Shouts out to Beautiful Ashes, Sister Quarte, Sister Layout for the Ruach and Truth. But we must worship a Ruach and Truth, and that brother has a solid Ruach and Truth plan to really get the lost sheep. And we behind it. So
what was the commission? Go ye therefore out into all nations, baptizing and teaching them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Ruach. Right. Hey, what better way to do that than music? Music transcends boundaries. There are no boundaries when it comes to music.
Yeah.
And some of the people that this brother is out here doing music with, I tell you right now, these names are on the four corners. And so all they got to do is be like, Solemn, who is Solemn?
Right.
Just like you said.
That's the gist.
Then that's gonna run. Then that's gonna run into a IO. Then that's gonna run into a rock. Then that's gonna run into a canal 4. Then that's gonna run into it. Then they gonna be like, okay, we Yahuwah, a higher.
Who is that?
You know what I'm saying? Yeshaya. You know what I'm saying? All of this laws, commandments. You know, and before you know it, you know these cats will probably start getting smaller streams and the truth music, not gospel music, not Christian music, truth music.
Truth.
I don't know if his prayer was for Ahia to enlarge his territory, but he definitely has enlarged his territory.
And I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. And like my brother Ayob said, his ruach is in the right place. It's definitely in the right place. Absolutely. I think it's about time for Banat Shalahaya to give us our announcements before we get the show going.
I was ready today.
All right.
You gave me a little time to get prepared. So, speaking of Solemn Prophet, every Sabbath, catch him on Shabbat Talks at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do not think you will be disappointed if you tune in. Like the brother said, he has some solid stuff, and any questions that were asked on the show with him the other night, he definitely answered every single question, and I didn't feel like he was just blowing smoke, as they say.
Right.
Fringed Up Family Fest. This is the second annual F3 Fringed Up Family Fest event. If you are interested in gaining some exposure for your business, your products, or your talents, do not miss this opportunity to advertise. Please reach out to them, contact them at info@3mgmusic.com. That's info@3mgmusic.com.
Yeah.
And again, the event is July 7th. There's some other things going on a few days before. But the major event is July 7th, 2024. Again, they need 3 MGs to assist with drivers, kids zone chaperones, security, parking, setup and breakdown, cleanup crew, trash detail, runners, servers, and bartenders.
I like that. 3 MGs. I like that.
The 3 MGs, yeah.
Need some 3 MGs.
Right.
And the Light magazine, www.tlhmagazine.net, has some gear for sale. You know, we talked last week about standing on business. If you stand on your business, I suggest you purchase this shirt. When you got that glow, shirt is available, and a special edition Drip and Sip remix. The Light magazine is available with our very own Ben Ayob, gracing the cover. Ayob, Ben Yahoo. And then, of course, Let Your Light So Shine.
I can't with her. She said she can't with me.
That's an inside joke. Yeah. Inside joke. All right. But that is all for the announcements today, guys.
Oh, good announcements. I love that.
Great announcements.
Thank you, but now for keeping us up on the up and up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. The Most High is good. Ben Yahoo, man.
Ben Ayo.
That's funny, man.
She's a comedian.
Ben Ayo.
Look, everybody.
Look at everybody on the inside, Joe. We know what you're talking about. We Ben Ayo.
Oh, man.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sick.
Well, let's go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
We were rushing through this joint. We didn't feel like, even look at Light magazine. Like
everybody know the Ben Ayo, man. Ben Ayo.
Ben Ayo.
Get a shirt made.
That's a great idea.
Sister Quarte, come on with it. You got to get a Ben Ayo shirt.
That's a great idea.
And put me on the back of it like this.
Right.
Look at the fireworks.
Got the fireworks.
There it is.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fireworks, man.
Hey, they sustained it. They sustained it that time. They didn't just flash it and take it back.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they going again. What's the fireworks behind it, Sister Cortez?
Man, we just like you. Hey, you gonna make me go get a Mac? Nah, I'm just playing. I ain't getting no Mac.
You'll have a Mac. Nah.
I'm just playing.
All right, fellas, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So we got some hot topics, some brain matter for you, if you will. First topic. So, did any of you guys try? Did either one of you try and get on your Facebook, your Instagram?
Yep.
What was that? Yesterday?
Monday.
Was it
Monday?
Tuesday?
Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
Either way, if you tried to access either one of these particular
platforms,
social media platforms, you were not able to, right? There was a lot of different rumors going around. I know I had a couple of people in my circle who were complaining and saying that somebody had hacked their page and they couldn't believe somebody would do that to them, would do this to them. It was all kinds of stuff. But said all that to say, we had mass power outages, missing deposits from Chase Bank, as well as rising interest rates and at high proportions of uninsured deposits. AT&T and Verizon services down for several hours now. Facebook, Instagram, and apparently Twitter, or X, if you will, were all down. This was yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
My question is, do you think there's something more sinister at play? And if so, what is the point? What's going on?
You got it, Sheer. You could take this one, big dog.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram outage, widespread distribution. They say it has been resolved. I've said this before, but not heard me say it many times. Technology is the modern day Tower of Babel. And what do I mean by that? Genesis 11:5-6. It says, and the Most High came down to see the city. Is the ticker going? We just can't hear it.
It's on,
okay, then cool. Yeah, came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men had built. And the Most High said, behold, he said, the people is one. They have one language, and this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Now, check this out. As many as 500,000 Facebook users had reported issues logging in or accessing the site as of mid-morning Eastern time on Tuesday. This was yesterday. And it said, according to the outage tracker, down detector, around 50,000 outages reports had been issued regarding Instagram and another 10,000 for Facebook Messenger. Although the number of reports had already begun to fall within an hour after they had began. That's a lot of people. That's essentially under the control of technical platforms that was built by the wicked, where the outage is sinister. Yep. The creation of these platforms was sinister, in my opinion. Why? To watch every movements that we make. Easily. Created to gain information about us that we freely give them without a second thought. Also created to usurp power of us, knowing that the platforms will be addictive, so that when they decide to shut it down, now all they got to do is just sit back and watch the mice react, how the mice is going to react. It's odd to me that less than a week after AT&T had outages, which is the biggest mobile supplier in the game, now Meta had outages as well. So to answer your question, without a doubt, I believe it was something sinister. Look, I'm not saying that this is what happened, but it's very well logical. AT&T control devices. Meta are the apps on the devices. Am I correct? You got the devices, then you got the apps that are on the devices. When AT&T went down, it's very plausible that something was added to those devices. As well as when Meta went down, they could have added something to the apps to invade our privacy even more than they already do. Their tower is built. What can be restrained from them? We have given them all the power. That's the technology world that we live in. I don't even need the whole 3 minutes.
It is. Good job, Art. Great prefacing of and great analogies, all truth. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Shamel the Trump Rattler says, and again, failed the test. Everyone went on social media complaining when it came back up. Yep. Almost like Jamel, boy, you my kindred brother. You was reading my notes. Yep. That's exactly where I was going. Because guess what happened on Tuesday? What we've been talking about. Tuesday was Super Tuesday yesterday. Mm-hmm. The primary election. Yep. And guess who suspended their campaign today because Donald Trump wiped the balls with her. Nemrato Undawa, who we know as Nikki Haley. So saying all that to say, like Banath and Sheer so eloquently put, you got Chase Bank last month, deposits missing, AT&T the other week. Now you got Meta. They wanted to see, soon as this come back up, soon as phone lines get back up a couple weeks ago, soon as we announced that Chase Bank is not who's going to be drawing their deposits and put them into other banks. Who's going to be all on the phone? We'll almost have another outage with so many users on the phone checking on people. Who's going to go on social media talking about how they may have been hacked and is everybody okay and what was going on? If you put mice in a maze and put cheese at the end, guess what? They're going to eventually find the cheese. As the old adage goes, the early birds get the worm, but the second mouse get the cheese. That's right. We got to be smart. We got to be smart, y'all. Like Jamil the Trump Rattler said, we failed the test. So when are we going? We talk about it on the show all the time. It's one thing to have the phone not working, but it's another thing to go on the internet and that circle just keep going. Right. You can't get on it. Mass hysteria. People will panic. People will lose it. So when it hits where the phones and the internet is not working. Oh, so to answer your question, it is something more sinister, and the point is to test us because we're to the elite, we're like mice. We're like mice. They just want to see what the reaction. They just slowly, like we say all the time, you can cook a frog. He'll jump out of the boiling water. He'll jump out. In cold water, you put him in, he'll jump out. But if it's lukewarm, you drop him in, he'll swim around, get comfortable, and you slowly turn the dial up. He'll never know that he's being cooked. And that's what's at hand. So yes, something more sinister. And the point is to see our reaction.
They got us in the palm of their hands.
Got us in the palm of their hands, man. It's just, so what's the next thing that's going to happen? You've had Chase Bank, AT&T, now Meta. What's the next thing? Boom, there's the bomb. Yeah.
Man, these hot topics, I be wanting to talk more about them. Go ahead. What we got next?
Right.
What we got next?
Give me one second. I'm about to. All right. Give me 1 second. I was trying to pull something up.
Well, while she doing that, I think it's ironic too that all of these things start happening right after that movie "Leave the World Behind" came out as well. You know, it's like they priming us, man, and this the thing with everything going digital. That's power. How many times have people heard me say that? Look, we didn't start having power outages until they took away the meters on the side of the house, to where now they could just push a button. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And it's the same thing. So now they got everybody on the technology side, right. Your money on tech, your phones on tech, everything is on tech. So now all they got to do is push a button. They can cripple you. That's what they're showing. Right, so when we cripple you, what you gonna do about it? You got what you was looking for?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
All right. So our generation's favorite role model, Charles Barkley.
There you go.
So if you haven't heard,
Milk dud head.
Mr. Barkley said he threatened to punch any black person who he finds wearing the picture of Donald Trump with the mug shot. If he catches him with any sweatshirt, t-shirt, whatever on, he's gonna punch him in the face. So the backstory to this is Donald Trump made a comment that his mugshot picture resonated with black people. I don't know what he meant by that. I don't know where he was going with that, but his comment was it resonated with black people. So I would be real curious if Donald Trump if Charles Barkley saw this young lady, would he punch her in the face?
Yeah, he better not. But
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm with you on that, Ayo. I pay to see that.
Right.
No. That being said, whose comment do you think was worse? Do you think, now consider the sources, do you think Charles Barkley saying he gonna punch any black person wearing the shirt in the face? Or do you think Donald Trump's comment specifically that his mugshot resonated with the black community, with black people? Which comment do you think is worse and why?
Can I go first?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He said, "Can I go?"
Yes, sir.
I just because what a time at.
I got you.
I just this is hard. This is a quandary. How Professor Plump say, what a quandary. Yes, Ms. Mono, he needed cognitive tests. And this is why. And this is my...
And Biden too? No, we in bad shape. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they all do. So with Trump, he said he can walk down Fifth Avenue and unalive folks and still get votes. So with him saying what he said, I'm like, I kind of expected. With Charles Barkley, he normally be the first Negro to be tap dancing and buck jiving, tap. Soon as something happened. So it was a shock that he would say this. So with that being said, two things. His Charles comments are worse because I didn't expect it. And the show on CNN, King Charles with Gayle King and Charles, their ratings are horrible. So I believe he said that for some
ratings,
trying to get some ratings. So that's the second thing I think is worse. Because here's the third and my final thought on this. We all know Charles Barkley in the past with the Rockets, the 76ers, and the Phoenix Suns. We know his past with shoving people on the basketball court and all that stuff, saying crazy stuff. I do believe, I don't know how many shows, I don't know how often they show come on, but I do believe he will walk that statement back. Because if you go look at the video, Gail's reaction was like, Charles, you can't say that. You can't say that. And he was like, she was like, you're gonna be in jail. He was like, shoot, I'll bail myself out and go celebrate.
Right. That's exactly what he said.
He just doubled down on it. So again, this presidential election this thing is heating up. And it looks like it's gonna be Sleepy Joe and Donald Trump. And I truly feel like Charles's is worse because he didn't mean it. He said it for ratings, and the backlash is coming. It's on the way, and he is gonna walk him back. And everybody gonna be like, "I told you so." Every podcast, everybody that's out here doing a whole another 2 hours talking about it. Willie D had a video, hour and a half video on it today. He kind of said the same thing. Like, I don't believe Charles. So Charles is worse because he's gonna walk him back. He didn't really mean it.
Yeah. I believe that without a doubt that he's gonna walk it back. I believe that he didn't mean it. Charles is an impulsive person.
Right.
Yeah, it's very impulsive.
Right.
Is it going?
Yes, it's going. It's going, Rob.
Me, myself, Trump, 100% without a doubt. I feel like it's worse. Okay. And this is why. That statement that Trump said insulted all of us as so-called Negroes. African Americans, black, whatever the term you want to use nowadays. I prefer Hebrew Israelites, but it insulted all of us, right? But with that retarded statement that Charles said, he only made himself look stupid. And he's going to, and if what you say holds true, he's going to make himself look even more stupid when he got to walk it back. Now, remember what Trump Jr. said just last week, though. We can't let him skate. Just last week. Trump Jr. said, I travel all over the world. I fly commercial. I have seen and witnessed now more than ever the amount of African American men that have come up to me literally like, hey, man, you my hero.
Yep. That's what he said.
Hey, just let that sink in. Okay? Every election year, these bonehead presidential candidates say something retarded. Every election year. Last election year of Biden, you not black if you don't vote for me. When you are the tail and are not the head, you have no power. But I do have to question for both of y'all, right? At what time, I mean, wait a minute, how did I got this? But I do have a question for both of y'all. What time I have, in the time that I have remaining. What was the reasoning? I'm sorry about that. What was the reasoning of this foolish statement? You know, you and I talk about it all the time. Where are we at right now?
Right.
When election time.
You gotta get the black votes.
When Biden said what he said, it was so many of us so upset about it. But guess what? They still went out and voted for him. Don't you know that these two clowns are for real? They are showing, what they're doing is so arrogant. And this is what I was telling to my wife. They're so arrogant that they're saying, look, let me show you how ignorant. And this goes back to the curses, Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26. We're going to show the world how ignorant black people are.
That's it. That's it.
We're going to show how ignorant black people are. We're going to say something just so asinine, but watch, they still going to vote for us.
Right.
They still going to vote for us. This thing ain't over with. Sleepy Joe going to have something to say. Sleepy Joe going to go on some platform and going to say something retarded. They got to record it first.
How old is he, Ayo?
219 years old.
They're going to have to record it first. Right. But without a doubt, I do believe that what Trump said was worse than what Barkley said because as a whole, he insulted all of us with that.
You're right. I agree. I agree. He did. Like Miss Mono said, both of them a few short of 6.
I saw that. I saw that. Hey, the middle of their bread ain't done.
Boy, I'm telling you, boy, them two right there. As soon as I heard what Trump said, and then I heard Charles, I was like, you know how you be embarrassed for somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Trump was he was either in South Carolina or Georgia. He was here in South Carolina, I think, when he said that.
Yeah, I think he was in the Carolinas. Yeah,
wasn't that on the same hills of the speech where he said where he was talking about all the black people in the audience? He could only see the black people.
Yeah,
all these lights. Right. I can only see the black people. Yeah. I can't even see the white people. Yeah. I can only see the black ones. I can only see the black, and you know that's where we are. That's how far we've come. I can only see the black ones.
Yeah,
they crazy for that one.
Yeah, very crazy, man. At some point, you know, of course, none of us that I know of, we don't participate in the ritual of the voting, right, you know, for the king. But at some point, the ones that do, they really need to wake up. This is a Hosea 4:6 in real life, man. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Just shut it down, man. Yeah. You want to boycott everything else, boycott this foolishness.
Yeah, because just like Jamil said, it's a test. They already have selected. They go to the every 4 years they do it. And
Bohemian Grove.
Before they go to Bohemian Grove, they go to that roast in Rome where they get up and they kind of roast each other.
Right.
And I believe when they see the cardinal, not the Pope, but a couple rows under him, that's where they tell them who is going to win.
Who's going to win.
Who's going to be selected. Now, like you said, the ritual of the vote is to see how many of us,
how we moving,
people we can get to get
That's
out there,
right.
stand in line, take a
That's
day off
right.
from work, miss
That's
lunch
right.
break, half get fired because you done stood in the Bilderberg meeting, and it's in
And
the
they've been doing that for years.
They've been doing it for years, and I
For
believe
years.
don't go do your own research.
Yeah.
I believe that is where they have a meeting, because I remember they made the whole thing about the cardinal with the beer.
Right.
He was in the green, and Trump was on one side and Hillary was on
Right.
one side. I think that's what they told him. Look,
Right.
go win.
Right.
Don't worry, we got you.
And one more thing before we dip. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that, but people don't understand the electoral college as well. There is no law that holds the those who hold the electorals to vote according to what the people say that they want anyway. So they could go up in there and vote any kind of way that they want to. That explains how Arizona flipped from red to blue.
Right.
You know, so yeah, we can't beat that horse. We got to move on. We got another one, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we in Texas now.
You supposed to like. No, I'm just kidding.
Y'all get to go.
Like-
Just let y'all go.
Like Bobby Porter. Yeah.
Let y'all go. So, this next one, like I said, we're back in Texas with this one. The Supreme Court has weighed in on the latest dispute between the Biden administration and Texas over the southern border, keeping a controversial state law, SB 4, from taking effect for now, while the law is being challenged. Monday afternoon, the court said it would keep on hold until at least March 13th, a Texas law that empowers state law enforcement to detain and deport migrants entering or living in the U.S. illegally. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, whose border crackdown also includes a program to bus migrants out of state and install razor wire barriers in the Rio Grande, argues the federal government isn't doing its job amid record crossings at the southern border. This new law authorizes untrained police officers to engage in immigration enforcement. It creates a new unconstitutional process in which the police in Texas are permitted to detain people suspected of being non-U.S. citizens and entering or attempting to enter Texas from Mexico or another country without authorization. Police may charge individuals with a new state crime of illegal entry to Texas, punishable by up to 6 months in jail. Police may charge individuals previously denied admission to the U.S. or deported from the U.S., including those unlawfully deported by Texas, with illegal re-entry to Texas, punishable by up to 10 to 20 years in prison. This is a lot to unpack, but essentially the question is, who should be responsible for securing the borders, and what measures that have already been taken, specifically in Texas, should be omitted, enhanced, or modified?
Go ahead, Doc.
They call themselves the government, right? I mean, her question is who is responsible for defending the borders? They call themselves the government of the people. It's their responsibility to secure the borders. It's not any other person's responsibility to secure my house. You my responsibility, my children are my responsibility. And so with that being said, Abbott, in my opinion, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, he's doing a grand job with trying to protect the Texas border. To answer the second part of that question, not one measure that Greg Abbott has taken should be omitted. None of it. What I say is enhance them, right? Look, a question. If I illegally go into a store after the store has closed, I'm going to go to jail. Am I right?
Come on,
if I illegally come into somebody's house without permission, I'm going to go to jail, right?
Going to jail.
So they are illegally crossing the border into a land that don't belong to them. So why are they not going to jail? This thing strikes me odd because the Supreme Court just ruled that law is unconstitutional. How in the hell is it unconstitutional to illegal people? Make it make sense to me. See, this is why it is so important that they double down on it. This was a text I got from the big homie, from Hondo, Alatunde, just last night. Venezuela emptying all of its prisons and they coming across the border.
I seen that.
And I looked into it, and guess what? It is true.
It's true.
But what's more interesting about this is guess what? This news broke in September of 2022.
Nope.
So what does that mean? A lot of those immigrants that y'all think is just innocent Mexicans,
they're already over here
looking for a better life, could be Venezuelan criminals.
That's it.
The battle over the Texas immigration law was one of multiple disputes between Texas officials and Biden administrations over how far the state can go to patrol the Texas-Mexico border and prevent illegal borders from crossing. Why is this a dispute is the question that I'm asking. If anything that the right and the left should be able to agree on and see eye to eye on, it should be this. If you come over here illegally, what I say, lock them up. Send them on their way. We are the only country that has open borders. Try to walk into Russia.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Let me see what happened to you.
You ain't coming home.
You ain't coming home.
Try to walk up into Russia. This is the only place that got open borders like that.
Go to North Korea.
Go to North Korea. And we had somebody that did that.
You see what I'm saying? Right.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm done.
Man, I was listening to you. I was like, you dropping gems. But this is, I agree. I totally agree. To answer the question, let me start off with that because there's a kind of a lot to unpack. Who should be responsible for securing the borders? Now, y'all remember a couple episodes ago, we talked about Governor Abbott, and we talked about them, the local and state police and some of the National Guard and some volunteers was putting up that barbed wire. But the feds said that they ruled that unconstitutional and said that we're gonna revisit it later. Remember, we said it was all political.
Right.
Here we go again. Now you got, looks like the two candidates are emerging.
Right.
Randhawa has Nikki Haley has suspended her campaign, so it looks like it's gonna be Trump and Biden. So Biden is now saying that you can't put barbed wire, but again, I say leave it to the states. The feds should only step in as an umbrella to govern when something is happening, like somebody is losing lives. Then the feds say, okay, look, but again, like Cher said, they're not residents of the United States. You can't go into North Korea. You can't go into Russia airspace. You can't even fly an airplane over Russia if you from any other nation without, like they do for rappers. You got to check in.
You got to check in.
You got to check in. You better not fly that jet plane without checking in. So what is the deal now? I want to read you something from an article. It says a panel of judges on the New Orleans-based U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit has said the law would take effect Saturday unless the Supreme Court intervened. They said that would create total chaos in the federal government's efforts to administer federal immigration law in Texas. The Justice Department said in its emergency appeal to the High Court. The department called the law flatly inconsistent with the court's past decision. That's what she just said. He was like, y'all just said it. Like, what? Come on, y'all. Again, it's political. They're doing these things deliberately. Like Jamil said, it's a test.
It's a test.
We're going to put it out there and see how far y'all jump. Y'all get mad when Meta go down, but y'all not mad because Venezuelan immigrants is coming over here?
Right.
Carjackings skyrocketing, robberies skyrocketing, and y'all wonder why. But the states should be able to do that. And the measures that have already been taken, that should be, like Cher said, it shouldn't be omitted. It should be either enhanced or modified. Like that barbed wire thing, it should be up to the governor. The feds should stay out of it until we start losing our lives, because they just say, look, we don't care that the barbed wires up. We're going to cross over anyway. And they start fighting. You got knife and gun fights. Then somebody has to say, okay, losing lives. You got to go back and look.
I like what you said, not to cut you off. You said until we start losing our lives. Because if they jump that barbed wire and they get pop.
What you mean? That's what, hey.
You made a choice.
You made a choice. Look,
Absolutely.
We can't even feel like we reaching for our wallet, getting
Come
pulled
on
over.
now. Come on now.
Yep.
That can make sense. And that piece right there about the total chaos, that is what's on the horizon. Man, if you looked at TV and somebody says 10,000 Venezuelans is creating havoc across the southern states and you can't get on Meta or your phone don't work,
that's right.
Bruh,
that's right.
It would be mass hysteria from Virginia all the way down.
All the way down. Right. And on top of they keeping you from being able to access your funds.
Can't get money, can't go nowhere. You just gotta hunker down. It'll be just like the movies. So yeah, I yield. That's wow.
So I wanted to throw this in there really quick. I can't remember if we discussed it on the show or if this was a conversation between me and Sheer. They started to bleed in because we discussed so many different topics. But one of the things that resonates with me is Governor Abbott has tried a couple of different avenues. He's tried a couple of different things, and one of them is busing migrants to other states in the U.S. And why is he doing that? Because if nobody else is going to take an interest in what's going on in this border, let me take these people that y'all feel like we should be doing something about, and Texas should just be absorbing, and take them to these other states and let y'all deal with these people. Let y'all handle these people. And I don't mean to minimize these individuals, who these humans are, but at the end of the day, they're in this state. They're wreaking havoc over here. We see what's happening in this state. It's affecting what's happening over here. But one of the things that I found interesting is those states are starting to sue the bus companies for shipping these people to these different states. Now, if I own a company, food, whatever it is, and I'm either feeding them or in this case, shipping them to other states, they are suing these bus companies for bringing these folks over. Somebody paid them.
Right.
Somebody gave them some money and said, hey, take these people, cross these state lines over here to this state. And that's exactly what they're doing. And they're getting sued. And the government is not stepping in to assist them either.
Right.
They're not helping them with these lawsuits. They're being super, super quiet.
It's just like white people. That's what white people do.
They're being super, super quiet about what's going on. They, one of the quotes the guy made, he was like, I'm paying out of pocket. So everything they pay me to ship these people over, I agree they don't need to be here. I'm having to turn around and use that for attorney's fees because they're not assisting me.
You on your own. Hey, we gonna ask you to do this, and if you don't do it, we're gonna make you do this. Then you get in trouble. You on your own.
On your own.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's very crazy. It's very crazy. And it's like my wife said, man, we live in Texas. And I'm gonna tell you, it's already enough people here. We don't need no more. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's either here or there, man. We can keep it going on that one too, man. I don't know. Let's keep it going. Wow, that just have a show full of hot topics.
I'm telling you.
Music breaker, y'all want to keep going?
Oh, let's get one more win.
Okay,
one more.
All right. So this one is this probably deserved a whole topic show by itself. So our brother. We had a young man who has basically had it up to his eyebrows, if you will, with dating. He said these girls are putting on a front. They're getting slicker and slicker. So this is Michael Porter. He's a current player for the Denver Nuggets and recently made this statement when he said it's hard for professional athletes to find a good woman. So my question to you guys is, obviously you can't speak from the perspective of being a professional athlete. Ayob, you probably can from being in playing college sports. And the fact that both of you, both of you are married, so y'all aren't even in the dating pool. But having said that, do you believe in general that finding a good woman in this climate is hard to find? And if you could give him any single man genuinely looking for a good woman, any kind of advice, what would you say to them? Remember, y'all only have 3 minutes.
Right.
Y'all only have 3 minutes.
In this climate, it may be a little tough to find a good woman. My wife is in the chat, Miss Malka Yahoo, aka Shaka Boom. She knows and will tell you, and we was just talking about it the other night with Southern Prophet. I had given up. In the first marriage I had that was infidelity. Not on my path.
Let that be made. Let that be known. Let that be known.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now.
Black men don't cheat.
Right. I was given papers. Right. I was given the papers. And I didn't want to sign them at first, but then I signed them. I said, okay, good. So at that point, I was like, man, I ain't never. That was 2014, October the 14th, 2014. I remember the date. That day, I was like, I'm done. I'll never get married again. I had given up. The same as Michael Porter Jr. Now, Michael Porter Jr., he was homeschooled. He had both of his parents. He traditional parents together, had 7 other siblings. So his parents had 8 kids. All the children lived in the home. He was homeschooled up until I think a junior in high school. Then he just broke out as a star basketball player, playing for the Denver Nuggets. Dating is already hard. Won a championship last year. So now that's when he is like, they was really coming at me, and all I can get is IG models. There are no characteristics of what I've been looking for. So what I would tell him, the advice I would give to him, start looking with a practical, and he is, from what I understand, is a Christian.
Sound like one.
Yeah. Have a spiritual and a practical, have a righteous balance. Don't let one teeter-totter have a balance, because I did the same thing. And it took me meeting Malcolm and us becoming friends. And I said, okay, I found my wife. I found her. Yes, the Most High will lead you to her. But you have to have your eyes, young man. You have to have the eyes to see. You got literal eyes and you got spiritual eyes. You got spiritual ears and literal ears. So you gotta be well balanced to kind of do it that way. Because an IG model may look like that, but she may hate it. She may be on the brink of not doing it and moving back in with her parents. You will never know unless you approach her. You got to be able to see that. You got to be able to actually see that on her very skin, the DNA. She will breathe it. Come on, man. You got to be able to see it, though. So I would keep looking, young man. Keep looking. And I think Michael Porter Jr. is what, 25?
He's young. Yeah, he's very young.
Championship. Come on, man. 6'9".
Young millionaire.
$6, $7, $8 million a year. So yes, a traditional woman is hard to find in this climate, but it absolutely, with the love of the Most High, the Ruach and literal eyes and ears, it can be done. And his advice, my advice to him as a married man, to keep going. I give. Go ahead,
all praise to the Most High that I found me a good thing. 22 years, man. 22 years of this thing, and we still counting. But to answer that question, yes, without a doubt. In today's generation, finding a good woman would be hard. For the women today's time, I'm sure it may be just as hard, but we talking about, to find a man, but for the women, but we on the task of that right now, right? I got a picture, but not. Can you pull that picture up? Yeah, pull that picture up.
I don't see a picture.
Sure, I got it. Yeah, you on the time. Here it is. There it is, right there. Bam. Lord. That is why it would be extremely difficult to find a good woman in today's time, because this, my guy, is normalized. I read a post yesterday, I think it was on Miss Mono's page, if I'm not mistaken. But it says lingerie is not even sexy no more because y'all wear it outside. Right. That's normalized. I don't cook, I don't clean, but you know the rest of that story. That's normalized. I have a 26-year-old son, and I tell him all the time, man, I would not want to be in your generation because the dating pool out here, man, is something crazy. Yeah. And I didn't mention the transgenders and the homosexuals and all of that. Guess what? That's normalized. So let's try to understand Michael Porter Jr. stance here. We are minnows in a creek to this cat. This is a millionaire NBA star. Imagine how difficult it is for him to find real love. Because that's what he's looking for after reading this article. It's real easy for these cats to find a woman. That's not what he's looking for. When you read the article, he's looking for love and he's looking for a wife. This is what he said. Ayob touched on it. I grew up in a household where I seen my dad be faithful to my mom. They had 8 of us, God-fearing household, so I believe in marriage. Like, I know that it's a concept nowadays that dudes is just like, nah, I don't really know if I want to lock it down. But that's what I saw growing up. So he said, I believe in that, talking about marriage. But his plight is that he can't believe in none of the women that makes themselves accessible to him today. Because he's a millionaire. It's like Ayob talked about. And all of the abnormal normalizations that they have in this world today. Now, I'm going to tell you, young man, take Ayob's advice better than mine, right? Because the advice that I got for him, because look, we in a whole nother arena than this brother. You dig what I'm saying? Look, I'm just an average Joe. I work for ADT. You know what I'm saying? Got a beautiful life. Don't get me wrong. I love the life that I live. But really, we're talking about how tall is he? 6'8", 6'9"?
6'8". Yep. 6'9".
NBA player. It's going to be very hard for him to go somewhere and not nobody know where he's at, who he is, right? And this is the kind of woman, he's going to have to find him somebody who probably don't even know who he is, right, in today's time. So this is the advice that I got for the brother. You need to go to Africa, brother, way down there deep somewhere. Find you a woman that got one of them bones in her head. They don't know no English whatsoever.
All right, Eddie Murphy.
You bring her back over here. Make sure she don't get no American friends, because her first words once she get her American friend is, Michael, I won't have.
That's it.
You better keep her to yourself. That's the advice that I got for that brother. But for real, this cat statue, he's going to have to find that one chick who don't know who he is and be able to build with that chick. And the odds of that happening because he's in the NBA is very slim. Now, there are some diamonds in the rough. Don't get me wrong. There really is, right? There are some diamonds in the rough, and I pray that the brother find it, because look, they have made a mockery out of the NBA and the women. And look, Magic Johnson told you years ago that they got tricks. He said, look, the smart ones get to the lobby. He said, those that smarter than them get on a hotel room. He said, but you even got a level that's smarter than them. I mean, get on the hotel floor. I mean, those that smarter than those that go to the lobby. He said, but you got some even smarter than the ones that get on the floor. Guess what? They get inside the room. They be
waiting on them boys.
Groupies. So yeah, that's my advice to the brother. I think Ayob's advice was a little bit better than mine, but
I thought you was about to go to Dolomite. Way down in the jungle deep.
Jungle deep.
A bad life for the brother. Dignified
Mucky's feet.
I was like, oh shit, I ain't about to go on the Dolomite. Yeah, man.
I'm not playing with y'all today.
Yeah.
We're praying for you, Michael Porter Jr. Come on in.
Yeah, that's for real.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yes, sir.
I can't speak from experience with this, but I do know back in my younger year, there used to be some things that women would do going to these games. I have a friend that used to work at a very popular hotel here in Houston, and she said exactly what you said. That Magic said. She reiterated verbatim. There were women who used to figure out where these guys were staying, because they pretty much all stayed at the same hotel. But once they figured out where they were staying, they had ways that they could do some things to get on the floor, and then figure out ways to get in those rooms. And she said it always amazed me how the women who came in ended up leaving the next day with these guys in the lobby, or going somewhere with them, or you'd see them somewhere else in the hotel. And sometimes you'd find out that those same women were with somebody else in the same hotel.
Yeah, that's their job.
Yeah, the same night. When I was in high school, and my uncle, was friends with a guy who had a son that was in the NFL. They came over to the house for Thanksgiving dinner, and one of the things that his mom said that she was afraid of was these white women coming after her son. She said, I want my son to marry a black woman, but the way things are going, I don't see how that's going to happen. Because she said these women used to line up in the locker room waiting for these guys to come through the tunnel. Yeah. And sure enough, he ended up marrying a
snow bunny.
He sure did. They had 3 kids together. And she said, I don't know how he would have had a choice any other way.
Right.
Because that's what lined up for him. But
let's go ahead and get to this music break. We got 2 more hot topics and bring it on back. I think it's rolling pretty good.
It's been good.
Who that said J.O.L. Judah? Who that said he's on the beat? Who that said that he loves the song? Let's get it. Give all praise to the king. Who that brought the flow from your lungs? Who that said we need to see? Who that blood to put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king. Who that said he gon' save the lost? Who that said that he's all you need? Who that said that he loves the song? We give all praise to the king. Who that breath to flow through your lungs? Who that said that we need to see? Oh, it's on now. To put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king. The king back, no TIP. His name is Shada, real G.O.D. He's the one, no CeeLo Green, and he still remain on T.O.P. Serve him to we D.I.E. Streets of gold, I pray I see. He gave his life to get his VIP, so don't trip, I don't want you to be like me. But follow niggas, I follow him. Shine your lights, don't keep it dim. I said before, make a choice tonight so everlasting love can be inside your life. Almighty, great Messiah, not a joke, he a great provider. Lacking much, he a great supply. And he stays on the job, he will not retire. In his name, we kept the trust. Keep it cool, no acting up. Jeremiah 29:11, he knows all the thoughts that he had for us. We just gotta keep believing, block your ears from the evil people. Some worse than the crooked cops, watch out your own people could be the people. Y'all still remain in charge, God be the king and his name is large. Up in heaven with his feet to the earth, much harder than the first that stumped the yard. Lie never, he's all truth, love the elders and all of you. Waking up is what you need to do, get the word when you need the truth and let's read. Now I gotta get back in it, drop some more facts in it. Keeping the king first, you have been forgiven to get past the fence. And I apologize for the stall, needed to answer the wake up call. Chose peace, got away from the storm, gotta be strong while it keep me calm. Lately I've been disappointed, many times I got done dirty. Show love, show respect, but in the end it still chose to hurt me. But I gotta look past that hurt, keep going, gotta move past that dirt. I don't have to be the king of the south, but I'm still a king because I know my work. Work hard and I pay my dues, they wanna play me like I'm scared to lose, but I'm still cool. You ain't heard the news? Hall G, I made a major move. Working with them, no accident. Seeking wisdom, no accident. The time is now to recognize their truth. I'm striving to learn as I'm rapping this. I don't care about rockin' stages, still rockin' with the rock of ages. I see me running with the king, I'm a rep by the Yahoo. I got the praise him. In his name, I'm boasting high. Being honest, I'm revoking lies. Go hard for the audience of one, that's all praise to the most high. Who that said they gon' save the lost? Who that said that he's all you need? Who that said that he loves us all? We give all praise to the king. Who that breath to flow through your lungs? Who that sight that we need to see? Who that blood to put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king. Who that said he gon' save the lost? Who that said that he's all you need? Who that said that he loves us all? We give all praise to the king. Who that breath to flow through your lungs? Who that sight that we need to see? Who that blood to put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king. Who that said he gon' save the lost? Who that said that he's all you need? Who that said that he loves us all? We give all praise to the king. Who that breath to flow through your lungs? Who that sight that we need to see? Who that blood to put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king. Who that said he gon' save the lost? Who that said that he's all you need? Who that said that he loves us all? We give all praise to the king. Who that breath to flow through your lungs? Who that sight that we need to see? Who that blood to put life in the veins? We give all praise to the king.
We met that cat 2 years ago, man.
Yeah, man.
At the Drippy Sip, the fourth one, and that was his first year coming into the truth. We met him, humble brother, man. He the same as he was then. I had no idea though that brother there had bars like that on the inside of him though. Man.
I tell you, Jamil, he sound like that old No Limit, that old Fiend back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When Swisher House first started with the whole crew that kind of put me in that mindset.
Right.
True. That's when, man, hip hop was hip hop.
It's definitely 504. You can hear it. It's New Orleans. Yeah, it's New Orleans. All the exactly.
That's that cadence and that flow. I love it. I got to hang out with him. JOL and over Sister Delta's at the Drip and Sip weekend, man. And,
all praises.
I mean, and I asked him, I said, bro, do you know last year around this time you was just like a newborn baby?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, man. And again, like you said, same, Ruach, very humble. I can't wait to have him and we're gonna have him
Harvest
on March 23rd, 8 o'clock p.m. We're looking forward, man. I can't wait
to it. And I see Shanayim in the house. We want to say shalom to Shanayim. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. We got 2 more hot topics. Then we'll get to our Beyond Critical Race Theory.
We have 3.
I thought it was on number 5.
Yeah.
I thought it was just 7. 5. Oh, okay then. All right, my bad. Yeah,
I tried.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Mr. John MacArthur. During Black History Month, John MacArthur, a pastor at Grace Community Church in Sun Valley, California, took time during a sermon to criticize evangelical pastor group Together for the Gospel, T4G, for honoring King years ago. He says, I'm not saying MLK didn't do some social good, and I've always been glad he was a pacifist, or he could have started a real revolution. Here, listen to that. MacArthur continued, but you don't honor a non-believer who misrepresented Christ and everything about the gospel. MacArthur has previously said, here we go, the Bible is abundantly clear. Slavery is the heart of what it means to be a true Christian. And Christianity does not free slaves. Christianity does not give equal social rights. Jesus did not propound equal rights, and he did not upset the social order. Rather, they all affirm that with great fear of God and great respect, you are to be submissive to your masters, whether they're good and gentle or whether they are unreasonable. You are to submit. Now, personally, I believe there's a sprinkle of truth in some of what Mr. MacArthur has to say specifically about MLK and about slavery a little bit. But if you were afforded the opportunity to have a conversation with Mr. MacArthur about his viewpoints, what would you tell him?
Go ahead, yo.
I would say, Mr. MacArthur, first of all, is Joe Biden your twin?
He gotta be 217, huh? Is it? Did you say 16? 19.
He might be 211 years old. But getting past that, I would say, Mr. MacArthur, have you ever heard of a brother by the name of Bayard Rustin? Let's remember, I'm gonna do a Beyond Critical Race Theory on him one day. Oh, we need to know who Bayard Rustin was. Let's remember, MLK was another Malcolm before Bayard Rustin got a hold on him, man. MLK had security, armed security, and was deemed a militant, a radical. And Bayard Rustin come along. So you need to tone down the guns. Bayard Rustin was a homo. I'll put it lightly, FOW. And he was in love with Jewish guys. I'll put it lightly.
Was he a brother?
Yes, Bayard Rustin was a brother.
Gotcha.
That's why he was sent by the Rothschilds to come and and he said, tone it down. So John MacArthur, ain't no way in the world you ain't never heard of Bayard Rustin. There's no way. But for you to say all of that, another question I would ask you, Mr. MacArthur, did you know his name wasn't Jesus? Did you know he had an afro? And to have an afro, guess what? You gotta have melanin in your skin. So yeah, you're right. You're right. You gotta be submissive. But the question is to you, Mr. MacArthur, in the end, who is gonna have to submit?
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
Come on now. They stay away from the book of Isaiah. They don't even.
Yeah, they stay away from Isaiah, Jeremiah, Obadiah, Nahum. They stay away from all of them. They go right to the Gospels and preach prosperity. I've seen Mr. MacArthur's come on my timeline and clicked a couple videos and I already knew he was off. So again, Mr. McGarvey, once you know the history of the Bible and that it was given to a particular people before the Roman Church just gave it to the world, and then the Renaissance changed it, those very scriptures you are speaking of, it's gonna all make sense to you. But you ain't gonna like it though. So yeah, you may be right in a sense. MLK, he had his ways. But there's no way you don't know about the last speech he made. He said, I've led my church. I think I've led my people into a burning house. There is no way you that old, 217 years old, and don't know about that.
Yes, indeed.
And I digress.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
You know, the one thing I would tell that pastor, and Job hit on it a little bit, Rustin, keep that same energy when Hamashiach come back and you find out he black.
Yeah, then you got an afro.
Blacker than me.
He gonna have another heart attack.
Just keep that same energy. Look, this here is proof in the pudding that Christianity, though, is a strong delusion. This is what he's talking about. In 2022, he had another quote. He said, "Curse of Ham explains racial disparities in wealth, income, and opportunity. The curse issued by biblical character Noah against the son of Ham for seeing his Noah naked and drunk has been cited by white supremacist theologians for centuries as justification for enslavement of racism against black people." Don't you know that this is the foundation of Christianity? For years, this is what we've been taught, that we black because of the curse of Ham. Our lips are big because of the curse of Ham. You can still find that in what is they call the Latter-day Saints, in some of the Latter-day Saints writing. You can still find that now. But not just read one of those other quotes that he had. So I'm not gonna, reread it. But personally, I respect these take more than the watered down neutral retelling of who Martin Luther King was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Martin Luther King, the feds, the FBI said that you had Malcolm and you had Martin Luther King. So when he's talking about him not being righteous, right? He's onto something. The feds said, look, Malcolm X, you couldn't get this brother to do anything outside of what he was supposed to do within the nation. But we seen Martin up in the parties.
Yeah.
And partying hard.
TD Jake style.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what they said, And so the guy that you talking about, you said that the Rothschild sent him to him. It makes sense because I always knew that Martin was in the pockets of the Rothschild, but I never understood how he got in their pockets. Now it makes sense to me. You see what I'm saying? Look, these people for real, this is how they've been teaching Christianity and the Bible for years, since the days of slavery. They'll find that one particular Negro, they'll teach him how to read the Bible, and then he got to go up there and preach. And these are all the scriptures that he has to preach. And if he go outside of that, they're going to set him down, probably with a whip. Christianity has nothing to do with this Bible. And it's interesting because I'm talking to a brother that's in the Christian church right now. I was telling you about it. I know.
Yep, absolutely.
And the thing that he keep running back to is that when you lead off with, it went off. Oh, okay, then. I'm sorry. Yeah, I can get back to it in one of our topics because we got a topic that's similar to this.
Real quick, I just want to real quick before we go on any further, just to show everybody. This is a picture of Van Rustin.
Gotcha.
All they ever talked about, and there's a reason. Again. There's a reason he is never hardly talked about. Bayard Rustin. We gotta do some.
Yeah, because he was an infiltrate.
You talking about COINTELPRO? We gotta take a whole show all 7 topics and 2 topics to dig into this dude, because this dude it changed everything until Martin at the end he found out, was like, wait a minute, they done got me. They got me because you got to understand, Lyndon B. Johnson at the time, John F. Kennedy's vice president, and then he was taken out and unalived, and then you got the FBI director that he couldn't. I cannot remember his name at the time right now, but they could not stand MLK. They hated him. He was a cross-dresser. The director of the FBI. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, you talking about
I just had his name on.
They also say that he's black. He's a mulatto dude. Yeah, I know you talking about dang, I can't. Hoover.
Edgar Hoover. Yeah. Thank you. J. Edgar Hoover. Him and Lyndon B. Johnson had a disdain, and they was able to get Bayard Rustin, Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson. They was all in cahoots.
Yeah,
of course they were.
There is video where the pastor talked about how the guy said he had to move away from Martin for the shooter to get a better shot.
Yeah, get a shot. Yep. Done seen it, man. Yeah, you right. We're gonna have to do it. We can do a whole show on that. A whole show on that. Yeah. That's the one guy, because I done a lot of studying on that. That guy done slipped up under my radar. I had never heard of him. They done hit that guy.
Hit him. Yeah, they hit him.
They done hit that guy.
They're supposed to. They gotta protect their own.
Yep. I appreciate that, Aki, bringing that out, man.
Absolutely. You know it.
Rustin, it's a movie. It's
a movie.
A movie about him. Yeah, Shanaim got it in there called Rustin. Never heard of the movie.
And I hear that a lot of people can't get past the first 15, 20 minutes like they did.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm even more intrigued to watch now.
Yeah. Right. Let's keep it going.
All right. Yeah.
Moving right along. So, do you guys know who? Have you ever heard of the Harry Potter series?
Yeah, I forgot about this.
Okay, so Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, right here. If you're not a fan of Harry Potter or anything to do with Harry Potter, you may not still be a fan after this, but you may be a fan of J.K. Rowling. So here we go. So J.K. Rowling is the author of the Harry Potter books, and she's recently been in the news for what is being touted as disparaging comments against the transgender community and deliberately misgendering trans activists. Right here, India Willoughby. Rowling responded to a Twitter X user who sent her a video of Willoughby with the user asking, "Hi, Joanne. So you're saying this lady should use the men's locker room then?" Rowling wrote, "You sent me the wrong video. There isn't a lady in this one. Just a man reveling in his misogynistic performance of what he thinks woman means, narcissistic, shallow, and exhibitionist." Willoughby responded to Rowling, to her comments on Monday, writing, "Genuinely disgusted by this grotesque transphobia, which is upsetting. I'm every bit as much a woman as J.K. Rowling, recognized in law and by everyone I interact with every day. The debate about whether J.K. Rowling is a transphobe is over. One of Rowling's biggest arguments is that there have been a couple of cases in which a man was caught in the women's restroom or dressing room taking pictures and video and then using 'I'm transgender' as their out." What's your take on this story?
You can go ahead out.
Yeah, man. My take on this is that it's about time that somebody that really, really, truly have something to lose is willing to put their values and their principles up first and let the chips fall where they may. You know, that's for real how I feel. J.K. Rowling is saying also what so many other people wish they had the courage to say. So in my opinion, Ayob and Banach Alahaya, J.K. Rowling is a trailblazer in the entertainment world because she is putting her career on the line to give others the courage to that that they need to speak up. Is that not what they say when them homos come out of the closet? Oh, you done gave somebody else the courage for them to come out and to show. So yeah, J.K. Rowling, you a trailblazer because you are giving other people the courage to be able to stand up and speak what it is that they have on their mind for this. This story also tells me this, that no matter how much they try to convince us that the world is on board with this alphabet crew people, it's really not, man. They can tell you that because they own the media, right? They can tell you that because they can write all the movies, right? They can tell you that because they can put this stuff out in front of you. But say, man, the majority of the world is not with this weirdoism that is in the world right now, man. How is it that we are normalizing abnormality? And this is what J.K. Rowling is talking about, man. I often wondered why more women, this was a question that I had, why more women were not just as upset as she is, and you are looking at being replaced by men. The thing blew my mind when that dadgum, what's that dadgum gender that Bruce Jenner do when that Joker decided that he wanted to cross dress.
Woman of the year.
Got woman of the year. So you telling me out of all the women in the world, you put this man on the cover as woman of the year? The thing I love most about Rowling is that she want all the smoke. We talked about Charles Barkley gonna double down and he gonna retract what it is that he said.
She ain't coming off that.
She ain't coming off of it. She want all the smoke. Rowling was asked on Twitter, on X, if India Willoughby is a misogynist, why did she become a woman? They think that they done got her. Nah, she responded, India didn't become a woman. India is cosplaying a misogynistic male fantasy of a woman. Come on now.
That's exactly what it is.
You understand? So yeah, my take on this here, man, look, I'm proud of her, man, because I have a question if we got some time, and I want y'all to answer. We got some time. Never in the history of mankind has it been important to announce one sexual preference. So why is it so important in today's time that everyone knows what your sexual preference is or who it is that you want to sleep with? Because the alphabet crew needs that validation. Whenever people need validation for something that they are doing, it's because they know within their heart that what they're doing is not right. Yeah. So what they need is for people to tell them, oh, it's okay for you to be who it is. Ain't nobody ever since I've been alive have made announcements, hey, I'm heterosexual. You know, who cares?
Right.
Why is this so important?
Right. Yeah. I believe, and I'll start my 3 minutes by answering your question. I believe, first of all, she is going to stand 10 toes down on what she said. That's first and foremost. And I hope she do, and I know she will. To answer your question, Mashiach said it best, and we talk about Matthew 24:4 all the time. Make sure they ask the Talmudim, his brother, and they were like, talk about one stone upon another, they're gonna tear it up. When will these things be? What will be this? How will we know? Deception will be at an all-time high. He said, make sure no man deceive you. And to land back off what you were saying, the deception is the media.
Is it?
The media will make the world think everybody is on board. The media will make the world think everybody is cool and on India's side. All I got to do is for 6 or 7 days, not even that long, to just run this story and have commentators take her side. And now everybody will be thinking, oh yeah, J.K. Rowling, we ain't buying no more Harry Potter books. We ain't looking at no more movies. J.K. Rowling's like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I stand by what I said. It is what it is. And you can't tell me I'm lying. Facts. So the normalization of these things, like you said, the alphabet community and whatever, the normalization of this stuff is, again, we gotta rise above the deception. We gotta be able to say, nah, you can't pull that stuff on me. You don't have to know my sexual preference, and I ain't got to know yours. I don't want you to tell me, and you can't get mad at me for not wanting you to tell me. That's the part. That's another whole level of deception. You say, "Oh, we just want to be heard," like you said, "Chill, we out the closet. We just want to be heard." Then it went from being heard to we got our rights too. Then it went from we just want to be heard. Well, we want our rights. Well, you can't tell me what to do. Then it just blew up, and you gotta agree with me or you're wrong.
Yep, you're a hateful person.
Where does it stop?
You're a hateful person. Say it again,
Where does it stop?
It's not designed to. Come on,
it's not.
It's designed to keep going and keep going and keep going until we stand 10 toes down on what we believe. And like Mashiach said, they'll tear this place up. They are tearing these buildings down, kicking and screaming because we won't let them have their way for a belief. How jacked up do your soul gotta be? Dang, for somebody not to agree with you because you wasn't born a certain way, and we okay with the way we was born, but since you think different, we can't just disagree.
Something wrong with us.
Something wrong with us. She gonna stand 10 pounds. I just said 10 pounds. She gonna stand 10 toes down on it. And to answer your question, it's gonna be normalized to keep going and get worse and worse. If the souls are waxing cold, love waxing cold.
She said one more thing. Let me see if I put that in my notes. She said, where is it at, man? Where is it at? I guess I didn't put it in my notes. She said that they need to be dealt with in talking about them transgenders going in the bathrooms.
Yes.
Yeah. She said that they need to be dealt with in that situation at that particular time. And I agree with that wholeheartedly, man, because when it all boils down to the ones that are being affected the most from this abnormalcy is the kids.
Yeah, of course.
The kids. There you go.
Yep, they're being brainwashed into thinking that these behaviors, this lifestyle, these decisions, these choices are normal. They feel like, and it's crazy for those of you who have your children in public school. It's a sad state of affairs because the issue is pretty much have to accept any and everything that's presented to them. I know a teacher who recently shared that they have a student in their class who wants to be referred to as them and they. And for the older generation, because this is an older teacher, for the older generation, she said, do you know how hard it is for me every single day coming into that classroom trying to decide and remember what I'm supposed to call this kid?
Yes.
I see a little girl. That's what I see.
Right.
But because they don't want to be referred to as a girl, I've got to remember to refer to them as them and they. And then get this. Then the next day they may decide, this person may decide, today I want to be referred to as a boy.
I just started throwing Sharpies at that joke when I want his attention. Hey, y'all. Just hit that joke with a button. Say, hey, this me at the desk.
right.
So here's the other sad part of this. So this person got into a Facebook conversation with a classmate of mine. The classmate said her daughter, 9 years old, came home and asked her about pronouns. The teacher responds and says, they're not teaching this in school anymore. They won't really allow us to teach the way that we're supposed to. They won't really let us have our own pronouns. She's talking about real pronouns. My classmate had to come back and be like, not those pronouns, ma'am. Not those pronouns. The teacher came back and was like, I give up. Because it's an older teacher. She's like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to. I see a little girl. How can I not call this little girl a little girl? Yep. And they had to have a whole class or a whole training in order to teach them how to address this particular student.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Hey, and y'all can think y'all first black president for this nonsense.
Yep.
Barack Obama.
All right, last topic. I know we could go on that forever, but last
Don't get me
topic.
started.
I see you. I see y'all.
So I assumed you was gonna throw the TikTok video in there, and it looks like you didn't. So we don't have the audio piece for this, but Navy Federal Credit Union. I don't know how many people have used Navy Federal Credit Union, know anything about Navy Federal Credit Union, but they pride themselves on being, specifically for members of the military and their family members, and they've been around for years and years. Well, Navy Federal Credit Union denied a long-term customer. I want to say she'd been a customer of theirs. Huh?
She said 30 years.
30 years. For 30 years, a loan who, according to her, she met the requirements. Great credit, everything that you would want somebody taking out a loan to have. She met all those requirements.
Yep.
She missed out on a significantly lower interest rate as a result of them denying her loan, only for her to go back later and find out that they not only denied her loan, they denied her loan as well as other people that look like her. Of course, this is a Hebrew lady. They denied her loan. She was devastated. Somewhere so she had to go get our favorite attorney, Ben Crump, on the case to help fight this. But my question is, do you think Navy Federal Credit Union should be obligated in any way financially to compensate her for missing out on that low interest rate? Because she ended up having to go to another bank. So what ended up happening is she was trying to do some repairs on her home, some minor stuff, but she ended up having to do it in a way that it took more time for her to have to do it because she couldn't get the loan that she should have gotten with Navy Federal Credit Union. She had to get it from somebody else, paid a higher interest rate. So, and if you pay a higher interest rate, you're paying back more money. So my question is, do you think Navy Federal Credit Union should be obligated in any way financially to compensate her?
Yeah, I absolutely, to answer your question, yes, absolutely, they are obligated to financially compensate her, and this is the reason why. Not only, as you said, Banaf, not only did she have to go and get the loan at a higher interest rate, she wanted the loan. She wanted to take out a mortgage out on the house to do and refinance to get money back, to get a loan and make upgrades to her home.
Correct.
Some upgrades to the bathroom, the kitchen. And guess what she had to do, y'all? So like Banaf said, not only did she have to go and get it at a higher interest rate, she had to go get separate loans and do the upgrades up at different times. Do you know? I couldn't do it no more when I was in finance. Because at the finance company I work for, if you come in there and get a $7,000 loan and you was right at the borderline of going to Wells Fargo and getting more money, but had to come in here and say you had a 680 beacon score, and you came to me to get it, and I gave you $7,000, man, you was paying that junk back 4 years for like $300 something a month. So that's the same thing she had to do. She had to go get a loan like that, and then another loan like that the next year, pay that one off, and then do you know how much money she could have saved with getting just that, being a 30-year patron at a bank like that at a low interest rate? She probably spent close to $100,000 or more by having to go get separate loans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as a finance guy, they need to multiply the number of years, add all the years up, add all of the lump sum that she's got to pay back. So say she had 7 loans for $7,000 over 12 years. They got to add that up and pay that back. Because she could have paid back $112,000, only borrowed $50,000, and she could have just borrowed $75,000 for them and paid right at $77,000 back. The company's like, oh, we can only make $2,000 off of you. You've been with the company or the bank for 30 years.
That's exactly what they looked at.
That's exactly what they looked at.
That's what they looked at.
And they denied her, y'all. And I want to read this real quick. It says a class action lawsuit has been filed against the credit union alleging that it had discriminated against Black and Latino applicants. Republican Maxine Waters of California, the ranking Democrat on the House Financial Services Committee, said in a statement that Navy Federal must explain both to Congress and their members such practices took place and what immediate steps are being taken to correct the harm done and who in management would be held responsible. But guess what? And I yield. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hold on. Let me find something right quick. Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? There it is. Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26, are staples into how many of us came into the knowledge of who we are. I told you I was talking to a really, really great friend of mine about who we are, trying to get him to understand scripturally, right? And this was something that was text back to me. However, today, a person, regardless of race, can be or do whatever they want if they are willing to put in the work and overcome the headwinds of obstacles. We actually had a Black U.S. president in a land where only 13% population is Black. A whole lot of non-Black votes were required to make that happen. You know how many people think like that? A lot of people think like that.
Yep.
First of all, it's way more than just 13% of us over here. That number is thrown off. But the mind state of regardless of the race, you can be or do whatever you want if you're willing to put in the work. This is Navy Federal, the largest credit union in the country. We talked about the largest phone company. We talked about the platforms of Meta. Now we talking about the largest credit union in the country. They denied her. And it's just like Ayob said, because they looked and they realized we ain't going to make enough money off of her if we give you the loan. Look,
there you go.
When you take out a loan, interest is where these banks make their money at. They make it off the interest. This is why you will take out a loan and you be paying 5, 10, 15 years for the loan that you took, and you ain't even went towards the principal at all. All you paying is interest. That's it. So what they do, they deny her. You're going to get the loan because you qualify. You're going to get it, but you're not going to get it here.
Right.
This was a 30-year service vet.
30 years, y'all.
You owe that to her, if nothing else. This is what she put in for the country. So yes, they owe it to her. Yes, they need to be investigated. Yes, they need to all be put on blast. Yes, they need to be shut down if you can. How is it that corporations this big can do so many things so criminal and walk away with it as if nothing, but we could do the smallest minute thing and they'll hide us forever?
Right. That's it.
Forever. This was criminal what they did.
It's criminal. It's criminal, y'all. For real.
Hispanics had jumped to, wait a minute, let me back up. Navy Federal rejected 23% of white applicants in 2022. The rejection rate rose to 44% for Hispanics, 52% for Israelites. Crump said that this had forced people of color, listen to this, this is it. This forced people of color to go to other lenders at higher interest rates. This is what it's all about. I don't care if this say Navy Federal. Navy Federal got somebody above them. I don't know who it is, but it might be JP Morgan. Might be Bank of America. You see what I'm saying? This thing works in the umbrella. So we ain't gonna make the money. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move you down the line to make sure the money is still made.
Yep. Because we invest this bank. Yeah, exactly. This bank may invest in the bank we sending you to.
You understand what I'm saying?
We're not gonna get all of the money, but we're gonna make the corporation is gonna make some money back. That's how, and I'm sure
that's
they
how it work.
Yep.
That's how it work.
So
lower interest rates was not meant for us.
Right.
It was not meant for us. We slaves. I be wanting Negroes to understand that. Don't come to me and tell me we can be whatever we want to be if we put in the work. Man, we was brought over here to be slaves.
Yep.
Guess what we still are? Slaves. Because when you take out a loan, guess what you just made yourself? A slave. To whatever that loan, the $250,000 loan, you a slave to that $250,000. And you know what they do with that loan? They take that loan and they resell it and make more money off of it. That's why when you in a house, you done started with this bank, but by the 5 years in,
you would somebody else
own another bank on it. Why? Because they done sold it. They done made money off of it.
They said we done made our money so we can sell it to you so you can make some more money. But here's the thing, not to cut you off real quick. So for everybody out there that kind of, interest rates. So the principal is what you're paying back to the actual money you borrowed. The interest rate is what the company is making off of you. So the higher the interest rate, the more money that goes to the interest and not the principal. For instance, if you borrow $1,000, if you're paying at a rate of 60% interest, guess what? For every dollar you pay back to that principal, 60 cents of that dollar is going to interest, and only 40 cents is only going to the principal. You got to look at it like that. So just think.
So it's like you walking forward. It's like you taking 2 steps forward, but 3 back.
So in her case, for Navy Federal, she could have got $100,000 at 2.9%. So that means on every dollar, 88 or 98 cents is going to the principal. She could have paid it on like that.
Yep.
Correct.
That's
see what I'm saying? That's how you got to look at it. So you got to look at every dollar.
Great credit is important.
Yes,
that's right.
Credit, because they're going to say every dollar you pay back is value. So we're going to give you all these dollars, and the dollar you pay us back has the value to get it paid off. But they don't really make the money like that.
Right. And I'm gonna tell y'all this here too, that the bank. Oh, okay, then. My bad.
I know it. My bad. I ain't take a.
Nah, you good, Doc. You good. They just be good, man. Hey.
I know these topics be good, man. We be going. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Nah. Sorry, we got a beyond critical race theory, man. We might not even get to our topics tonight. That's good, man, though. I think we did good. Yeah. Yeah, but we not gonna miss this beyond critical race theory.
Oh man, beyond critical race theory. Another good one, y'all. I was intrigued by this story because I never heard of this. Everybody knows that beyond critical race theory, we learned a little bit about somebody or something that we just not taught in the school system. Okay. Most of these I learned even as I'm going along reading it, and it blows my mind every time. Tonight will not be any different. Tonight, we're going to talk about Henry Box Brown. Never heard of it. There you go. Never heard of this guy. Henry Box Brown, the 19th century enslaved man from Virginia, later a noted abolitionist speaker, escaped to freedom by mailing himself in a wooden
I heard about
crate.
this. I've heard about this. Yes.
Henry Box Brown escaped to freedom at the age of 33 by arranging to have himself mailed in a wooden crate in 1849 to abolitionists in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Brown was hired out by his master in Richmond, Virginia, and worked in a tobacco factory, renting a house where he and his wife lived with their children. Brown had also been paying his wife's master not to sell his family, but the man betrayed Brown, selling pregnant Nancy and their 3 children to a different slave owner. Imagine that. Yeah. With the help of James C.A. Smith, a free so-called black man, and a sympathetic white shoemaker named Samuel A. Smith, Brown devised a plan to have himself shipped in a box to a free state by the Adams Express Company, known for its confidentiality and efficiency. Brown paid, get this, we just talked about finances, get this. Brown paid $86 out of his savings of $166 to Samuel Smith. That's a pretty decent amount of money back in that day.
Right.
Smith went to Philadelphia to consult with members of Pennsylvania Anti-Slavery Society on how to accomplish the escape, meeting with Minister James Miller McKim, William Steele, and Cyrus Burley. He corresponded with them to work out the details after returning to Richmond. They advised him to mail the box to the office of Quaker merchant Passmore Williamson, who was active with the Vigilance Committee. Now get this. Here's where this is, listen to this. To get out of work the day he was to escape, Brown burned his hand to the bone with sulfuric acid.
Wow.
When I seen that, I was like, wait, what? Let me read that again.
Wow.
To get out of work the day he was to escape, Henry Box Brown burned his hand to the bone with sulfuric acid. The box that Brown was shipped in was 3 feet long by 2 feet 8 inches deep by 2 feet wide and displayed the words "dry goods" on it. It was lined with a baize, a coarse woolen cloth, and he carried only a small portion of water and a few biscuits. There was a single hole cut for air, and it was nailed and tied with straps. Brown later wrote that his uncertain method of travel was worth the risk. If you have never been deprived of your liberty, as I was, you cannot realize the power of that hope of freedom, which was to me indeed an anchor to the soul, both sure and steadfast. It says, during the trip which began on March 29th, check this is another fun fact, 1849, Brown's box was transported by wagon, railroad, steamboat, wagon again, railroad, ferry, railroad, and finally a delivery wagon, being completed in 27 hours. The box was successfully received on March 30th, 1849. Just look at the determination of our ancestors. There you have it. Henry Box Brown, y'all. Man, I read that. I was just blown away, bro. There's the place marker.
Henry Box Brown.
Henry Box Brown. Sulfuric acid. And it was like, oh yeah, you got to get out of here. So he got off of work because he couldn't think of another excuse to, I'm sick. They're like, boy, you better get in and get that work done, get that tobacco press. So he burnt his hand and got in a small, tiny box with some water and biscuits and got mailed to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where he acquired his freedom.
So was he ever able to reunite with his family?
Now, that's where it gets tricky. So I went down a whole rabbit hole and I stopped where I stopped because there are so many debates and shouts to African Archives on X and on IG for this story. I think African Archives, he basically had to shut the page down for this story, because there were so many debates on, he got to Philadelphia and he was missing his family. He met another black woman, had kids, but then he left her for a white lady and had kids. But then they said that story about the white lady was just thrown in there to divert. It's so much. And I went down a rabbit hole and I was like, I got to come back. So I want to do a part 2 on his later life, because there is books and different accounts of him after that, when he finally got to freedom in Philadelphia. But it's so much that it's going to take a while to kind of sift through. So
I got a question for you, Ayo.
Yeah.
Are you keeping up with your part 2s?
I got the Philadelphia Fire. I got
Okay, then I'm just.
I got like 6 parts.
You got about 10 part twos.
Yes.
I'm telling you, and I want to start back, and doing them and getting more information to start doing the part 2s here soon. So
I think what I'm gonna do for the Beyond Critical Race Theories, I'm going to start pulling them out of the shows, and I want to make like a segment of Beyond Critical Race Theories because these things are so awesome, and the learning of them is crazy. But can you imagine? Tell me we not the people of this book. Tell me we are not Israelite. Tell me that we are not the children of Israel. Tell me we are not up under a curse. Tell me that the Most High has not had his eye on us, even though he kicked us up out of the land. This brother burnt his hand with sulfuric acid and got it to. How tall was he? Did they tell you his size, man?
They don't say his size, but I can only imagine 3 feet long by 2 feet 8 inches deep by 2 feet wide. That's like he was literally in there, like with his
27 hours.
27 hours.
27 hours.
And here's the thing: the 27 hours, but to be lifted from wagon, railroad, steamboat, wagon again, railroad, ferry, railroad, and delivery wagon. That's 8.
Right.
That's 8 times you were picked up and dropped back.
Right.
And that box didn't break, and they didn't. Like, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's man. When we talk about protection, the Most High protect, and we are afforded these type of stories to show us, man, that we are for real the apple of his eye. Can you imagine the pain that the Father go through to see us having to go through what we going through? But we going through it for a reason, man, because of disobedience. I could stay here forever. I could stay here forever, man. We missed out on two great stories tonight. We refuse to keep the people any longer than we should. We're probably going to have to work a little bit on how we going to work this thing, revamp this thing to get it out. But hey, I don't know. The hot topics seem kind of hot too within itself. Yeah, I could dig that too. So we'll see. What the people want. But I do want to thank everybody for sticking around with us. I know you got something to say about that story. Anything about Henry Box? I was wondering why this brother middle name was Box.
Henry Box.
Oddly enough, even though his story is obviously revered and well renowned, this actually was not that uncommon. He's just the only one who made it.
Who made it? There you go.
He's the only one who was able to mail himself. But there were other accounts and other stories of people trying to do similar things, and they either died in transport.
We're trying to get freedom any kind of way we can.
Yeah. Yep. But they either died in transport or got found out and ended up with a worse fate than probably what they initially were in. So, he was definitely a trailblazer, and I'm sure after him they put in a lot of different things to. He's probably the reason why they check boxes now.
Right,
he's a TSA.
Right, TSA.
right. He's the reason for TSA. So it's unfortunate that we've had to do these kind of things throughout history to try and gain freedom or put ourselves in a better position. Some of the rumors that surround what happened to him and what he did, what he chose to do, remind me a little bit of 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
For the simple fact that he did this so that he could get his family back.
Right.
He wanted to get his family back. And that's typically. Yeah, that's typically what our history has always been.
Right.
And if you think about where we are today, a lot of us, while we may carry our slave master or whomever owner's last name, some of us
are displaced.
Are very displaced, not just from coming here, but we're displaced
from our families.
Exactly.
Right.
You may have had 5 kids and a husband, but because of how you look, like we've talked about this before. I typically would have been in a house somewhere, and chances are, depending on who the master was, he may have been able to get more money for me, so I get sold down the road somewhere, never to see you or my children again.
Right.
So I may end up remarried with more kids. Right. You may end up remarried and with other kids. The kids may get sold off somewhere. So there's a lot of history, as if you will, that we don't even know about ourselves. You may do some digging and find out where your people supposedly come from, only to find out that person was displaced. Yep. So the plantation you thought your family came from, it could have been somebody different.
All the way different. And we are so nurturing of a people that when you come, especially babies, you know that we're gonna take that baby in and raise that baby as our own. You know what I'm saying? So now this has become your family throughout the generations, when in reality it ain't your family because you done got sold off somewhere, you know?
Right. We are truly scattered though.
Yeah. And that's what I was just about to say. That's what the scattered to the four corners truly mean. And I cannot imagine this brother's heartbeat when he had the money to go buy his family.
Right.
I can't imagine his heartbeat at that time to find out that they were going and he couldn't get them back, and his heart beating the whole time he was moving.
Man,
I can't imagine.
Can you imagine the quietness?
How quiet he had to be. He couldn't cough, couldn't sneeze. It reminds me of yourself being sold into slavery with his brothers. Could you imagine being that young and now you with a whole different set of people? They look like you, but you with a whole different set of people.
You don't know anything about them, don't know them. And I think what's worse in this case is he's being moved around from place to place to place, because you talked about he went from a horse and buggy to this place to a ship to this spot. This entire time he's being moved and he has no idea where he is. No clue.
Well, yeah, and that's a weird feeling too. Of course, nothing like on the level of that, but hey, when they move you around, when you are for real property of the state, that's how they move you. They move you at night, and you on these Bluebird buses, and you know a lot of the time the windows are black. You know what I'm saying? And so you moving, and you have absolutely no idea where you are at that particular time. You know. And so I could just imagine on that level, you cramped in a box, you being lifted. The only thing now, you know, you like this shrill. Now you float. Now, you know what I'm saying? Man. Yeah. When is this thing going to be over with, man? Right. I give all praises to the Most High, because he had every reason in the world to divorce us and get rid of us, to do away with us, but he wouldn't. He didn't. Because he promised to our father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, say, you know, they forever going to be mine. And that's one of the things that I keep telling my Christian brother. Look, man, I said the Most High ransomed us from Egypt. He took care of us in the wilderness. He gave us laws, statutes, and ordinance. He gave us Levite priests to sacrifice for us so that we can make it right with him. He made a relationship with us. Do you really think that he is just going to just like forsake who it is that he made a relationship with? You better go read Malachi 3:6. I am the Lord thy God.
Yep.
I change it not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob are not consumed.
That's right.
We still here. Hey, they done tried to kill us off. They done tried everything that they could. We like baby kids. You understand me?
That's Pharaoh said we got to deal with these jokers wisely. We got to deal with them wisely. We got them in captivity. They are free labor. So whenever they have babies, you got to off them.
That's right.
Midwives is like, yo, these Hebrew women different.
Say, hey.
They go looking for one, they having 2 and 3 more.
Come on now, say it. And when you read it in the book of Jasher, what did the Pharaoh do? He say, look, I know what we gonna do. We gonna multiply their work. Right. So by the time they get home, they gonna be too tired. Man, we was still multiplying.
That made it even worse.
Still multiplying. What you talking about?
I think that's where a lot of multiple births came from. That's why. Typically, naturally,
therapeutic.
Don't have to take a lot of fertility drugs.
Right.
You'll find white women having to take a lot of fertility drugs. We generally don't have to do that. We end up having natural multiple births, and I'm not just talking about twins. I'm talking about triplets, quadruplets. There are multiple stories of black women having multiple births and didn't take one drug, not one fertility drug. They just naturally had all these kids.
And we the first Cabbage Patch Kids. How the Malak took care of our babies in the fields, you know what I'm saying?
Cabbage Patch.
It's like, look here, man. You can't tell me.
They done tried ripping our families apart, literally and figuratively. They done tried gay debate on our children. They done tried Mandingo with having us wrestle each other. The Bucks. They done tried everything.
They done tried it all.
Like I said, when Mashiach got back after leaving Matthew 2:13, him and Joseph and Mary got back to Jerusalem from Egypt from hiding. He was 30 years old. It was worse. It was 30 years of unaliving Hebrews from newborn to 4 years old.
Yep.
So it's the same thing now. It's worse.
It's worse, man. That same spirit is in the world. Why? Because the dragon is wrought with the woman, and he went to make war with the seed. With her seed, we are that seed. We are that seed. You know what I'm saying? So, look, man, me coming into a knowledge of who I am and accepting that, bruh, nobody have no idea what that has done for me, man. None whatsoever. You know, and that's why I can stand with the best of them, and I can look them in the eye. And the thing that I love about truth is that, hey, truth don't need no help. Truth is gonna stand on its own. It might not make you feel good, but it ain't meant to make you feel good, but it's so liberating. Do you understand me? It is so liberating. So liberating. So yeah, man. We was gonna get into white Jesus. We was gonna get into we was gonna get into white God. You know what I'm saying?
We can make them hot topics next week. Come back next week.
They done took a survey and the answers of the people, they done mixed them together to make the face of God. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this stuff up, yo. You cannot make this
stuff up. When I seen that, I said, wait, what?
Right. And how come the picture's so grainy?
Say, man, the people
500 answers all mixed up. This is what God look like.
This is what him look like.
This is what God, out of all of it, this is what God look like.
Yes, indeed.
Yo, you can
make this up, man. Yeah. Say, yo,
man,
Big Ayub.
Ben Ayub.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you tonight, man. The Most High is blessed. I don't know if people been seeing me post or not, but I've been posting out of this Living Bible, man. Look. Man. I am a King James brother, okay? Don't get me wrong. 1611 King James is what it's all about. But I want to give a little small testimony on this Living Bible. When I saw this, I had to get it. My mama had this same Bible in the house as a kid. And I remember as a kid, I used to read that thing. You know when the Most High told Jeremiah, in the womb I knew you? I really believe that with the Most High. With me, man, because there are certain things about the word that interest me as a kid that I knew nothing about. And this Living Bible was one of them. Yes. I always said, even as a kid, I said, man, it sounds like a black person wrote this Bible. If you ever read the Living Bible, it sounds like a brother wrote this thing, man. And it's like when he's talking to you, especially in like Proverbs and Ecclesiastes, it's like your granddaddy or your great uncle just sitting down, just talking to you, giving you wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys have ever had the opportunity of reading from the Living Bible, how the translation is written. If you haven't, do yourself a favor, pick one up and just, it's like, it's just once you know the 1611, I'm not trying to give anything to replace the 1611. The 1611 is it. That's where it's at, okay? But say, man, this Living Bible, look here, man. I'm telling you, it's like your uncles just sit down and say, look here, boy, let me tell you something.
Look here, boy.
let me tell you something. But
that's almost like that meme I did today, Uncle in the video. Man, look here, boy. Hey, look here, boy. I got four dudes in the Astro van around the corner right now. The womp womp, lay on that horn all day for me. Don't look here, boy.
I bet he had a bottle of Thunderbird in his back pocket, man.
Thunderbird. Old Johnny Three Legs. Thunderbird. Well, I ain't heard that in a long time.
That brother had a bottle of Thunderbird in his back pocket. I bet he had a 32, either 32 or 25. 32 or 25.
I shoot you and hit you. You won't even feel it till you get home, sucker.
All praises, all praises. We thank everybody for being here with us tonight. We'll be back next week. We got White Jesus on the topic next week on the Hot Topics. Yeah, White Jesus.
Y'all wait
White Jesus and a hodgepodge God.
Boy, you wait till you see this hodgepodge God face.
Something else. But with that being said, I think I got us an outro.
Yeah, that Solid Prophet.
We missed several moves. We missed several song breaks, man.
That's all right.
Yeah.
We'll use them next week too.
Yeah. I know.
There you go.
Right. Go on to pick a song, baby. Take us up out of here.
All right.
Yes. All praises to the Most High and the character of Christ. 24 hours in the spirit. All right. Let's get it. Yes. Let go of that carnal nature. A lot of your friends gon' hate you when you try to follow Christ. They don't wanna see you in the kingdom. They want you in bondage, suffering your whole entire life. Time to let go all of the negative energy and come and join the assembly that's following the word. If you don't wanna come to the Father, it must be the enemy you wanna serve. Then you wonder why you getting pushed out on the curb. I'm just trying to put in the work and keep on studying just like I'm a nerd. It's nothing but the natural healing. I'm feeling like I'm consuming a whole lot of different herbs. Alcohol, I had to let it go, cause it kept me in the dark, doing things I wouldn't do when I'm sober. Living like a savage, suited all day in a hotel, telling the harder to bend over. Living a wild life, I was an animal out of control. The mission was getting my pockets swole. Like a black eye, a black guy on the block trying to see how many packages I can get sold. But I didn't make it far, I had to let it go like I wasn't making payments on a car. Getting told up, feeling like I would never grow up. Mind stuck, I had to get up out the jar. Like a firefly, I was born to glow and shine light, but I stayed dim like a low charge. It was time to power up, so I had to plug to an outlet where the energy source is so large. Ain't nothing like it or could never be. I am that I am, the one and only, the God of Jacob, Abraham, and Isaac. My people are part of the family tree. You holding on to this world, it's time to let go. You holding on to the past, it's time to let go. You holding on to bad relationships, let go. Just know the Father, He got us and He won't let go. You holding on to this world, it's time to let go. You holding on to the past, it's time to let go. You holding on to bad relationships, let go. Just know the Father, He got us and He won't let go. The Father won't let go, He gonna keep us under His wing if we listen to everything He say. Following the law, speaking it out of your jaw instead of speaking death. He sent the Son cause He the only way. I'm talking about the word that cut hard like you in the car and you about to go and buck at you. Gotta watch out for the knuckleheads cause they probably wanna start something and come around and buck at you. A lot of y'all don't understand, you gotta let go of the nonsense if you really wanna go make a change. Like putting good wine in a dirty cup and you wonder why every single sip you take it tastes strange. If you feeling like you stressed out, gotta let something go. So test you can make it through the pain and get up in Christ's lane, but don't swerve, gotta drive straight if you really wanna make it in this game. Gotta let go of the porn and them dirty thoughts cause I know it's driving you crazy and so insane. Flip it to the next chick like click click, now you laying there and your body feeling so drained. It's a demon, you gotta cast it out fast and pray, let it go and watch it fall just like the rain. If your relationship not working out, then it's time for you to remove yourself. You can learn from afar, it's no reason to be dealing with somebody that be beating you and to damage your health, cause you can do better than that. The Most High got somebody already planned for you. Sometimes we be moving so fast they end up getting caught up by a tarantula or a bad spirit. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, so if you got beef then let it go. You holding on to this world, it's time to let go. You holding on to the past, it's time to let go. You holding on to bad relationships, let go. Just know the Father, He got us and He won't let go. You holding on to this world, it's time to let go. You holding on to the past, it's time to let go. You holding on to bad relationships, let go. Just know the Father, He got us and He won't let go. No.